So the object of today's session is to look at different techniques that you can easily change if you're not already doing so within your business, for you, your teams, your offices, so that your clients as well as prospects when they first meet you can look at all your services as that you're helping them rather than being sold to. And within all your meetings, obviously, you've got the skills with numbers. You can demonstrate the value of working with you using the likes of Time's Up, the on-track questions, benchmark, SSTW, and business potential, to name a few. But what we want to look at is how you can truly connect with them without turning the meeting into a sales pitch. So the first thing I wanted to do was as just sort of look at, what, is the sale. And if we can all just take a moment to think about our interpretations of that, maybe things that we've encountered before and how that made us feel in that experience. So most sales people will be driven. They tend to be very direct, they can be abrupt, and they tend not to be a real people person. It's not about finding out about your needs. It tends to be just about making the sale rather than the experience, the lasting journey with yourselves. So stereotypes of this could be if you've purchased a vehicle, a sofa or furniture. These companies go out and ensure that in their sales recruitment process that they're looking for people who have these attributes, that these people, their only aim is the sale. And this comes across in the language that they use, but also in the body language. If you've ever sat across from one of these, it is all about where you're signing, how much you're paying for an item. Obviously, what you need to do and your teams need to be doing is using each of these opportunities of either creating that long-lasting relationship or creating that know, like, and trust element with the prospects. You're not a salesperson, but every day there is an opportunity to sell. But what I want to do today is to look at the word sell and change it to the word help, so that everything that you're doing is helping your clients, because in that way you will emotionally connect with them, and your clients and prospects will come to expect that when they work with you, that you can help them overcome their challenges and create that long-lasting relationship, and how you've made them feel, and as a consequence that they will tell others as well. So social proof, absolutely massive at the moment on your website, the way that people look at you. And I bet if each of you just spent 10 minutes after this meeting, either with yourselves or with your team, actually brainstorming, that you could create a list of relevant ways that you've helped clients to overcome any issues that they've had, and as a consequence you've actually sold a service. Because by building up these stories, these case studies, either blogging about them, having them on your website, can help other people relate to that. So you're not having to sell your services. You, the business, the way that you deal with your clients and what your clients are saying, can ensure that they know about your services. It's also about what they see. Your testimonials in your office. Do you have it in folders? Can people read about you in your office while they're waiting for you? Is there words, what people have said about you on the walls? Is there a rolling presentation? Do you talk about this in newsletters? have things on your email footers, because all these are different elements that you can look at your business to ensure that you're helping your clients, but as a consequence that you would sell an extra service. So with everyone who's on today, is there anyone who has got some social proof of something maybe that you've done within your business that has allowed you to sell a service where you haven't directly had a one-to-one meeting to go through the pricing of your services? Is there anyone who would like to share that? They can either unmute themselves and speak, or put their camera on. I do have a case study myself, because I thought you might be shy in coming forward with that, which we'll discover further on in our learning today. So we've looked at the social proof, the aspects of not what to do when demonstrating your services to your clients. But there's also a lot around the language that you use, the way that you can work as one with your clients and prospects. So there's a great book. I'm just going to share my screen now, so we can have a look at the book itself, which is written by Daniel Pink, and it's all about looking at persuading, convincing, and influencing others. I've just got the link there direct from Amazon, obviously a few £, that you can get on your Kindle or paperback. So, you know, why this book? Well, when I was researching for today's session, there was many things about the book that I thought we could all take from. And the strapline was "without a salesperson's approach." So it allows you to become an effective persuader in your work or your life as well. And he did many studies, and it shows that all of us in our working day, that we could have up to 40% selling something, not directly in a one-to-one meeting, but just an opportunity, as we touched on before, in the way that we demonstrate this around our building and within our communications to connect our services. Also within a meeting, to make sure that before going into the meeting, you have that moment to reflect on what is it that you're wanting to achieve. You know, can I succeed? You know, obviously they're being positive, being optimistic within the meeting, which I'm sure, you know, we would all be within the meeting. But the other way, to make sure that you're able to work with the client and emphasize on what they will gain by opting for the service with working with yourself. And obviously you've got plenty of tools that can demonstrate this throughout your meeting. Also, that believe in the value of the product and how it will impact their life. So depending on what the challenge is, that you're able to connect that. And again, that social proof, linking back to a story of somebody like them, their experiences, what they did differently, and as a consequence, then them buying more services from you by just helping them. The book itself links through sort of 40 different exercises where you can go through and look at perspective, mimicking, and preparing yourself for that meeting, asking questions. So it goes into a lot more detail than just purely on that element of not selling without the salesman's approach. The other thing is allowing you to go through with your clients, moving from in pain that they may be in now with what they need, to move into them to gain. And there could be elements in this book. So if you've got partners of the future or team members who are going to start going out, working more one-to-one with clients, maybe getting them a copy to go through and actually go through the 40 of the different exercises to ensure that they can hone these skills within each of the meetings. So language, and the language that we use, is very important, isn't it? Now, the isn't it is a yes tag, and it's a very powerful, and you should think about adding these into your everyday language, shouldn't you? Now, this can work very well within business, with your clients, with prospects, but also in a team environment as well. And by using these, you will find that they become the way that you use them within your language. You're not actually putting them in or creating a script. Now, any of you who's attended the masterclass at AVM will know that it's a definite favourite of Steve Pipes, is the yes tag. And he has managed, in the way that he's created up as a speaker, to ensure that these happen naturally. And he has taught each and every one of you who attended the masterclass that this can be a great way to ensure that people are more likely to agree how you are positioning something. So gaining that agreement, making an assertion and adding the tag question, I'm the best person for the job, aren't I? This is the best way to do it, isn't it? The won't you, can you, don't they, isn't it? And cementing that within the agreement when talking to clients in the way that you can help them. So the upselling of any services and buying extra services from you. So I know with the names that we've got on and a few faces that have come on camera, has anybody used this technique, this yes tag, to have gained something, either a sale or somebody agreeing with them, that I'd like to share with us today? No, I did see somebody nodding as if they had used the yes tag before. Anybody like to come on? So Umar, would you like to share that with us? If you're able to unmute yourself, it would be great for you to share your experience. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Hello, everyone. I think I have been trying to use that, like, since masterclass. I'm kind of becoming pro. I used it initially, but I think it wasn't the right way of approaching. But in my recent meetings, instead of saying to the clients like, "Oh, this got to be done," or "You're wrong here," or "This should be done," rather than if you use an approach where, like, okay, basically getting information from them through D-Solver, isn't it? Is that right? Is that how you feel? Isn't it? Those sort of things really tends to work, and it allows them to speak more and shifts the paradigm of the meeting, basically.
Brilliant, fantastic. And am I right in thinking that your masterclass was quite recent as well?
It has been. It was literally like a month or so. That's it, really. A couple of weeks, really. So yeah.
Brilliant.
I'm trying to implement more, but again, like, it's not like you don't get it right in the first time. Like the very first meeting I tried to implement, it was disaster. It takes time. It takes time to get hang of and incorporate all of that into your normal business routine.
Brilliant, fantastic. And again, it's that practice, knowing what you want to do, and practice and repetition, so it becomes, now I would suggest, maybe what you now do, as opposed to having to think about it in your everyday language of your clients. So no, fantastic, and keep me up to date on that. Fantastic to hear that you've taken action so quickly from the masterclass as well and had the desired results. So brilliant.
Thank you.
So we're now going to look at some other resources that are in System Builder that you're able to access and start using straight away, that can help you change that sell to help element. So I'm just going to share my screen again. So this is a resourcing system builder called Meeting a Prospective Client. So you've already booked the meeting, done your research. So within the meeting, it will be looking at certain areas. And with all the documents that are in System Builder, as you know, we do have supporting documents that can help you go through, drill down and ensure that for every meeting that you go through the same process to get the same desired results. So obviously in your prospect meeting, it's all about ensuring that they get benefits from the services that you can provide, but also there's so much more that can emphasize that you're there to help them rather than just going through services line by line. So the first area is it has a checklist that allows you to go through and leave nothing to chance about your checklist. So your first impressions. It's also got a superb script in here that can help you go through, as Umar did, to ensure that you can practice exactly what you want to say, how you want it to come across, using that language, then yes tags, and building the rapport from the start that they know that you're there to help them. It then goes through line by line, using open questions, identifying problems, and so on and so forth, right the way through on there. And each of these can help you demonstrate how you can wow them. You're the credible expert, you're the person to go to, and that you're able, by using case studies that you've already got, talk them through how you've helped other businesses like them to overcome these challenges. And if you don't already use a system for meeting a prospect client, then I suggest that you come into here. Like I say, my email afterwards will have a link to this, so you can go straight in there, have a look at it, ensure that you can use this system every single time to really help and start that relationship as a credible expert right from the outset. And as I said, leave nothing to chance. It happens every single time. Again, if team members are meeting clients or you're training somebody up, then again, this could be a great way of getting them involved and ensuring that you've got everything in place to give your business the best possible chance on securing a new client, but also ensuring that all your services have been fully explained and how you can help them. So that is the Meeting a Prospect Client document. Now, I know with some of the names and the faces that I've seen on here that quite a few of you was at the AVN conference last week, and we had the award winners from the 6 areas on taking action towards excellence. Now, the overall winner was Shaz from AA Accountants based in Peterborough. Shaz also, he won that because it was voted by the peers in the room on his story of what he submitted to put himself forward for the awards. But he also won the section Taking Action Towards Winning Great Clients. Now, I was privileged, and I know some of you was in the room as well, that Shaz spoke to us about his prospect system that he used in a recent advancement face-to-face event that we ran in Birmingham. And I think he just wowed the whole audience on the amount of detail as a business they look at everything that they do. So I thought we'd just have a quick look at Shaz's website if you haven't already, because there's some key words on there, some language, again, going back to language, that he uses. I'll just share my screen again so we can all have a quick look. So I don't know if Shaz is on today. Great if he was. I didn't see his name. So, you know, obviously Shaz himself. On each of the different slides that are coming up, you'll see there's a common theme of the language that is used. This guaranteed. You know, as a business, Shaz doesn't leave anything chance. Shaz winning the Firm of the Year and his business, you know, increasing radically over the last few years is not by chance. They, as Shaz and the team have created that know, like and trust factor. They've become the credible experts. They've created comprehensive systems within their business on everything that they do. And from a snippet from each of, you know, from his award entry, you know, it's all about keeping up that momentum, ensuring that they know that you're there to help them. And so every client gets these prospect packs, which has been gone through on how they can create proof to these prospects that they're able to deliver and guarantee the results that they're claiming on their website. They've got various case studies as well. You know, they've spent lots of time on the website, on the case studies. They've got loads of written and video testimonials, you know, that shows that they can demonstrate these values. They create their own literature, which again is the demonstrator, the real life case studies of their clients and how they've helped them. And Shaz is having people coming to him for help in the different things. I know they run seminar, and he put in his entry that the sales process is very extensive, you know, and very detailed. And he shared with us on that day the way that they pre-qualify each of their clients on that to ensure that they exceed their expectations of the clients when they meet with them. And one thing that Shaz said at the advancement meeting, it wasn't in his entry actually, but you know, looking back, what Shaz said to us in the room is to research any prospects as much as possible, so that your first meeting isn't about their business, you know, anything that's happened in the past. That your meeting is all about clarity on how you can help them going forward. So that first meeting, which you know, traditional sales meeting will be to find out certain aspects. You already know that. You can do research. As we know nowadays, we can find out anything about anybody. The way that it's all now out there on the World Wide Web. So, you know, get somebody in your office to do this research. So all you can do within your meeting is clarify that information so that you've got an opportunity to change that meeting into something where they can, one, they want to work with you, but two, they understand that you're there to help them, and not just on the compliance work, all the added value services as well on that. So we have many resources in System Builder. If you haven't already just looked on the different like selling scripts and things like that. And there was one I wanted to point out to you, because the title says it all. It is called the No Selling Script, and it is open to all levels of membership, so you can start having a look at this. So the No Sales Selling Script was created by Steve Pipe and Andy Bounds. And for those who don't know Andy Bounds, obviously he's wrote quite a few books, The Jelly Effect, Snowball Effect. He was a keynote speaker with AVN back in 2009. And Steve and Andy have worked together to create this ready-to-use no selling script to use, and you'll see it's both with prospects and it's also been changed to linking. So if you're wanting to go back to your existing clients to help change the experience and sell more services, this ready to use script. And from this, and again from Andy Bounds' presentation, it's all about the afters, what people really, really, really care about, and how you can make a difference to move them from the pain and gain so that they don't feel like they're being sold to. And it drills down into all these different areas, and then also links down into the client. So again, if it's something that you're wanting to start quite quickly and implement, if you've got a meeting the next couple of days, you could review this, change it to your own language, make sure it's got these yes tags in, which will already be embedded as well, but so that it becomes how you can use these with both prospects and clients to sell more services on that. Just going back to everybody who's on the session, is there anybody who has used the no sales script or any areas on that before that they'd like to share with the group? No, all quiet today. Well, we do have, well, there's actually 13 ready to run seminar, workshops, scripts on selling already in System Builder, which is a part of the BBF toolkit, which is an advanced tool, which I know many of our firms are already using to demonstrate this either to the clients using these seminars or workshops, as some people call them. But they can also be used to practice your own skills on presenting, or also working with your clients one-to-one to demonstrate all these different areas. So they are in System Builder, and they are under the BBF toolkit. So the toolkit goes into many different areas. So when you first open up, it talks about the overview objectives, and then within it is the full library of these 70 plus BBFs. Now a BBF is has the transcript, so you can learn the language that you want to use, as well as a PowerPoint presentation, audio recordings, a PDF, and many handouts and marketing. The one that I wanted to look at is the Andy Bounds Win That Pitch, because it leads on from the no selling sales script that is already created and is in System Builder. So if I just click on the link here, then the resource will open up for us. So on each of the BBFs, when you click on the link, you'll open up to all the areas where you can go through and create a sales pitch with a non-sales approach, but use the elements of helping them. So Andy Bounds Win That Pitch. As you can hear, as you can see, he's got the transcript, which we can have a look at, the audio. So again, you can download these, have a listen to them, you know, pick out bits that are relevant to how you can use within your presentation or your meeting, or and also could be something that you sit down with your team, for them to gain the confidence and see that, you know, the sales approach should be looked at everything that you do with contact with your clients and prospects, so that they understand the benefits and features as well. And you can see there it's also got like a PowerPoint presentation as well. If you wanted to open that and actually use that yourself, you can just download it and going through each of the different areas. So like I say, the BBS, it's not for anyone who has got these, hasn't spent much time looking at them. It's not just about that, but there are the 13 that you can cherry pick out on the sales elements going forward. So at the start of this session today, we talked about the opportunity of when you have your meeting with your client, that you're able to demonstrate the selling of or helping of the service that you have. You've also all got access to a tool that one can help you overcome the benefits of why they should work with you on and overcome pricing objections. But you can also showcase these extra services and explain to them how they can help them individually. And that is on the Time's Up software, which you've all got access to. So let me just open that up there. I'll just share my screen. So Time's Up itself obviously can be used to price any services, but it was also designed, it has a feature that you're able within the software to go through line by line all your services. So this is a quote that, I don't want this to turn into a Time's Up training, but I just want to look at the benefits. So I've already created a quote with my client, and I've already gone through the 5-star elements of that. Which again, we do plenty of training if you did want that directly on how to use Time's Up. I just want to show you how you can use it to help your clients choose more services from you. So when we move down into the 4 or the 3-star service, you'll see that there's something happening automatically on my screen, and that was down here, which when we first went on to the 5-star, you'll see that all these areas are ticked, because obviously that is they're already getting all these services bundled in with your business growth service. But for some clients at that moment in time, even though you're explaining the benefits of each of these, they're still looking at price or cannot see how these can help them overcome any challenges or where they want to be as a business. And this is where Time's Up can really help you once you've gone through that and they're happy with the price, to actually go back through each of these areas and explain why by taking these can help with them. So again, we talked about creating some case studies for yourself of somebody, a client who took out personal tax planning, social proof on what happened from them taking that forward. So when we click on the personal balance, obviously, and start building up, we can go through, each of these fully explaining the services. We've also got down here, either by using the dots at the bottom, can go into any of these added extra sections and go through in the same way, or use the toggles here. So I'm just going to click over to one of them just to talk about. So if you did want to bring up the benefits, features of the personal tax planning, when you just slide over, it does exactly the same as what I did on the first page, which is tick the area. And you can go through just ensuring if they need any help in these areas, and also ensuring that they know if they need that in the future, that they're more likely to come back to yourself because you've already discussed these different areas as well. So you can do that on each of the different ways. And it might just be, thank you, but not this time, but at least you've opened that communication up. So when they need help, that they're going to come back to yourself. You spoke about, the way that we can use simple stuff that works. Can we have a meeting? Can we go through this and see? So creating that opportunity rather than leaving it to chance further down the line on that. So for yourselves who's got the PMI, the advanced options, obviously up here, you can go into each of your PMI services, explaining the value from people using the one-page plans, having the board view meetings, all these different areas, and, cherry pick the ones that are more relevant to their situation as well to go through. So before I do a recap on each of the areas that we've discussed today, I will ask again if there's anybody who wants to share something, how they have ensured the language that they use, or some, a system or a script or a technique that you can share with the rest of us that has enabled you to sell more services in a way of helping your clients. Don't be shy. Anybody? I'm sure you must have. I'm sure you can. Umar again, fantastic, brilliant. Yes, if you'd like to share. Thank you.
Basically, what I did recently was, like, first thing in my view, what needs to be understood is that it's very difficult. Like, we can't sell everything to every single person on our client list. You really have to drill down, filter, maybe like select few businesses who you would like to sell some additional services. So what I recently did, I did the same thing, went down the list, selected 5-6 clients, and these were the clients who, well doing businesses. I knew about them. So for instance, there's one client who I knew that he wanted to retire. He's looking towards retirement, things like that. So basically, and I approached him and I just said, I think it's a hard time that, with that, we have a meeting, some other additional services you can have. It could be really valuable to you. First, for meetings is not going to be chargeable to you, so don't worry about it. It's just some open conversation. So in my view, the key is that drill down your client list, find out, identify the clients you know better. Among those, see who could be potential clients who would be needing some additional services, and then approach them in a very friendly sort of way, not in a way that that you're selling something, but just in a way that that shows that you're trying to help them and about their needs and you just want to address that before it's achievable, basically.
Yep, brilliant, fantastic. Thank you for sharing. And again, going back to that, obviously your client base, as well as knowing that about your prospects as well. So no, thank you for sharing that. So just to do a recap and go, back over sort of the elements from today's session. We talked about that social proof. If you're not already having these conversations, knowing that you can, explain to clients and prospects how you've made a difference to others, then you're definitely missing out on that whole social proof. Displaying it. I know a lot of people don't like to shout about what they're doing. It's almost like, bragging, but why not? You're doing a great service to your clients, and you need to shout about it, you know, to others, and the testimonials in your office, on your website, and so on, will ensure that, you know, these messages happen all the time. Looking again with your team, you know, to how you can use these different areas. You know, I'd strongly recommend you definitely look at that yes tag, how you can incorporate that, you know, with your meetings. You could always use it on your team as well. That persuasive, that yes tag approach. You know, having scripts, there's nothing wrong with having scripts. Because a script will allow you to know what you want the outcome to be. You don't have to say it in a parrot fashion. You just have to use key words of influence throughout your meeting, and, you know, using the language to ensure that you're helping with them, and making that connection, which the no selling script will teach you how to do, to ensure that happens every time, and then it becomes your own. It becomes what we do here. If you have got the advanced tools, look at the 13, you know, ready to run BBFs just on selling, because, you know, it runs through from, you know, winning that pitch, looking at that afters, which complements the no selling script. But, you know, there's definitely other ways that you can put in your systems, you know, why people should buy from you. The other thing is learning from others. You know, we all do it. Yourselves who came to the conference that day, I'm sure you went away with, you know, many actions that you heard about on the stage, thinking, yeah, we could do that. Why not do that? You know, but also look at the things that you are already doing, and could you just enhance that? Could you do it every time? Is there a system that you could create to ensure that happens? You know, like Shaz and his team, you know, that sales process, you know, is so detailed, from when when somebody picks up the phone or emails them about working with them, that they ensure that they're right for them, you know, do research on them, you know, for the financials about them, so that when they have that meeting, they can just clarify that information and then move forward in Shaz's words on the website, guarantee that they're going to get value, guarantee each and every meeting, every outcome, from working with AA accountants down in Peterborough. And in doing so, as a consequence, they tell others. I know, there were some big numbers being bandied around on the stage as well. And again, that didn't happen by chance. I know Shaz has gone through a big journey himself on presentation, and has spent a lot of development ensuring that presentation, if it's on stage or in a meeting, using these techniques, can ensure that he gets the desired result, which is the clients that he wants to work with, that he's chosen to work with, that, can afford his fees, but also fees, not the question. They just want to know what else that it can help them with to propel their business forward and get the desired results from that. And also by using, the Time's Up software. So I hope that you'd be using it each and every time to talk about your benefits of your compliance, but also thinking how you can use the added value services that are already there. They've got the wording, you can enhance that, maybe go back to each of the added value services in Time's Up and make sure that they talk about this benefit, this how it's going to help them, so that when you're talking to them in the meeting, that they already understand that they, the value, the gain that they're going to get from working with you and taking out extra services with you. So from today's session, I hope you've got lots of ideas, even if you've only got one idea, to just make, go back to your office and make that one action happen. At the conference we talked about marginal gains, that could have a big effect and create, something within your office where your team, that they all come up with one action on how you can help your clients, to make these changes. So if you haven't already done so at the beginning of the session, because I know a few people did come on after I'd already said it, if you could just type your name and your practice name in the chat box. What I will be doing is uploading our session onto YouTube and send you a covering email with the resources that we've covered today, as well as the recording of the session, so that you can either revisit it yourself, have a look at the resources, show your team, but also come back and let us know how you've gone on. Have you used these techniques? Did you learn anything that your team were already doing these techniques that you wasn't, and vice versa, to ensure that, going forward, each and every client and prospect, get that help, and as a consequence, you get the extra sales from that with your clients. So thank you for today. I've been Tracy Clow, and that was how to sell without feeling like a salesperson. Thank you.